1856 was a simpler time. In February of that year, the Republican Party had its very first national meeting. In June, the first company of Latter-day Saint handcart pioneers left Iowa City, destined for Salt Lake. And on December 28th, President Woodrow Wilson was born in the town of Staunton, Virginia. He was the third child out of four, born to the Reverend Dr. Joseph Ruggles Wilson and Jessie Janet Woodrow. Wilson's family moved south in 1851 and identified with the Confederacy. His father defended slavery, owned slaves, and set up a Sunday school for them. They cared for wounded soldiers at their church, and Reverend Wilson briefly served as chaplain to the Confederate Army. Woodrow Wilson's earliest memory, from the age of 3, was hearing that Abraham Lincoln had been elected and that a war was coming. Wilson was over 10 years of age before he learned to read. His difficulty reading may have indicated dyslexia, but as a teenager he taught himself shorthand in order to compensate. He was able to achieve academically through determination and self-discipline. He studied at home under his father's guidance and took classes in a small school in Augusta. He began his college career at Davidson College in North Carolina in 1873, but transferred to Princeton while still a freshman, where he graduated in 1879. After graduation, Wilson attended the University of Virginia Law School, though he only studied there for a single year due to health concerns. He continued studying at home and passed the bar exam in Atlanta, Georgia in 1882. After 1 year of practicing law, he applied to Johns Hopkins University in order to prepare for a career in politics. Wilson had a varied career in academics before turning to politics. He received an academic appointment at Bryn Mawr College in Pennsylvania from 1885 to 1888. Wilson began his own family in 1885 when he married Ellen Louise Axon, daughter of a minister from Rome, Georgia. Together they had 3 daughters, Margaret, Jessie, and Eleanor. After the passing of Ellen in 1914, Wilson got remarried to Edith Galt in 1915. It was during his time at Bryn Mawr College that many of the works which defined Wilson as the father of public administration were published. The first of which is a book entitled Congressional Government, which established him as a leader of the political reform movement of the day.
The question for us is, how shall our series of governments within governments be so administered that it shall always be to the interest of the public officer to serve, not his superior alone, but the community also, with the best efforts of his talents and the soberest service of his conscience? How shall such service be made to his commonest interest by contributing abundantly to his sustenance, to his dearest interest by furthering the ambition, and to his highest interest by advancing his honor and establishing his character? And how shall this be done alike for the local part and for the national whole?
One must remember that before Woodrow Wilson was a politician, he was a scholar. And in writing The Study of Administration, he turned academia's attention towards public administration. In so doing, he became the father of public administration.
It is the proper duty of a representative body to look diligently into every affair of government and to talk much about what it sees. It is meant to be the eyes and the voice and to embody the wisdom and will of its constituents. Unless Congress have and use every means of acquainting itself with the government, the country must be helpless to learn how it is being served. And unless Congress both scrutinize these things and sift them by every form of discussion, the country must remain in embarrassing, crippling ignorance of the very affairs which it is most important that it should understand and direct.
The work which truly gave birth to public administration, however, was published 2 years later, in 1887. In The Study of Administration, Wilson advocated the importance of 4 main concepts. First, separation of politics and administration. Second, comparative analysis of political and private organizations. Third, improving efficiency with business-like practices and attitudes towards daily operations. Fourth, improving the effectiveness of public service through management and by training civil servants.
It is the object of administrative study to discover, first, what government can properly and successfully do, and secondly, how it can do these proper things with the utmost possible efficiency and at the least possible cost either of money or of energy.
Wilson ensued to promote a separate department for the study of public administration. During the next year, he inaugurated a course in public administration at Johns Hopkins University, providing 3 6-week lecture series arranged in a 3-year cycle. In 1889, Wilson published a textbook entitled The State, and in 1891, he began at Hopkins a new 3-year course, another significant step in the development of the study of administration. Finally, Wilson was promoted to president of Princeton in 1902. In 1910, Wilson decided to leave Princeton and run for governor of New Jersey. He won the election by almost 50,000 votes. In 1912, he began his campaign for the presidency and was sworn into office on March 4, 1913. Wilson carried 40 states and won 41% of the votes, beating both Theodore Roosevelt and William Howard Taft. Wilson was re-elected in 1916. Towards the end of his presidency, Wilson suffered from the flu, as well as a serious stroke. Because of his failing health, Wilson decided to retire after his presidency. He led a quiet life until his death on February 3, 1924. The life, leadership, and teachings of Woodrow Wilson shaped the study and practice of public administration in America.
You recording?
Yeah.
You are recording.
Yeah.
Okay. Watermelon. Watermelon, I say. We need more watermelon in this country. The farmers need to grow more watermelon. Chris Owen needs to eat more watermelon. And the world is our oyster. The world is our watermelon. And I'm telling everyone here, no more taxes. No more taxes. On to pantyhose. Are we good? Do I need to have the glasses on? For continuity?
Hold the glasses.
Hold the glasses. And I'm not looking at the camera at all, I'm just reading. Right?
Follow your heart.
Follow
Do whatever
the
you
heart.
want.
Okay. That it shall always be... Jenny, you looked at me. You made me nervous. You peeked behind your computer.
I will not look.
Take 2.
Take 2.
Ready? Mm-hmm. He was one of the first scholars to realize that all government was actually administration. That's it.